And the recording's going. And then participants are coming in. Hello, hello. I'll just wait some moments so everyone starts getting settled in. I see everyone rolling in here. Very exciting times. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'll get started now, and whoever else can join us can catch up with us along the way. I'm very excited for this one, especially on the week of Halloween. So we're gonna get punny with it, or as much as I can, honestly. So we're getting started with the scary good blueprint for 35% direct bookings. Transform your bookings with spellbinding strategies. I'm Santiago, your senior marketing manager here at iGMS, and I'm joined by Chris Wilson. And yeah, let's get started. So what do we have on agenda here for today? I'm gonna start off with a presentation for anyone more new to direct bookings on how to get started, what are the benefits of direct bookings, and even going over a little bit of iGMS for people new to iGMS as well. That'll take about 15 minutes. Then for the largest part of the webinar, we're going to be focusing on Chris Wilson and all his strategies that he's used to grow his bookings. And I'm really excited for that aspect. It's been really great to get to know him throughout this. And then we'll go into the Q&A. Through the Q&A, you won't be able to see other people's questions, and we'll answer it as we go. I'd probably recommend you save your questions for the end. You can ask them throughout as well, but more likely that we get to it um, after we're done presenting. And then within the presentation, I have a really exclusive offer that I'm really excited to share with you. So stay tuned for that as well. And I wanted to get started with an intro on Chris Wilson. I got to meet him 6 months ago doing user interviews and got to know him a bit better. I was very impressed with how he's doing his own direct booking website, how good it looks, all these aspects. And then I wasn't super surprised to hear that he was a marketing professional. And what a little bit about him, and he's a digital marketing maven with over 18 years of experience. He's provided marketing solutions for some of the top brands in the world. So you see here General Motors, Harley Davidson, Chanel, Allstate, The North Face, Hotwire, and many more. And then in 2021, Chris and his wife entered the vacation rental business with the purchase of Carson Cabin in Red River, New Mexico. And since then, he's increased the overall occupancy of his cabin by 44% and has grown the share of direct bookings by 67% over the last 3 years. So really excited to have him on. I'm really grateful that he's joined us for this webinar. And a little bit about myself, less impressive resume, but I'm the iGMS Senior Marketing Manager. I'm leading partnerships, user research, email campaigns, webinars, all kinds of different aspects that get to collaborate with the whole team with. You can feel free to reach out to me at any time, santiago.godoy@igms.com. And in my personal life, I like boxing, DJing house music, hiking. So yeah, if you see me with a black eye, you know what that might be, and to get better head movement, probably. And that's a little bit about me. Now I'd love to learn a little bit about everyone else more. So we're gonna have a little poll to share with everyone. And let's see if we get this going. We're gonna relaunch the poll. Now I'm hoping everyone can see the poll. We're just asking a few different questions to understand better who is, on the call today. It's also could be nice to see other users and what they're up to and kind of who's on the call for everyone else to see as well. And help offer the most value to you, depending on how many stays you manage, if you have a direct booking website, if you use iGMS. And I'm seeing the answers roll in. Thank you for everyone participating. Great stuff. I'll leave it up a few more moments. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want to share the results. So hopefully all you can see those results. Within this, we have a good mix of people with one property and people with multiple properties. A good mix too of people that don't have a direct booking website yet and looking like a lot of people looking to grow their direct booking website. So 36, 64 there. And if you have your own website, and then yeah, most people have less than everyone has less than 20% of their direct bookings coming through, or of their bookings coming through direct bookings, and most of people less than 10%. And that's very typical. Talking to different users, I see that all the time. That's why I thought it was so exciting to get Chris Wilson on board and share his expertise as well. And to use iGMS for direct bookings on your website. Um, Half of you already built your direct booking website on iGMS, which is really exciting. And a good proportion also use the iGMS widget, and we can get into that as well. So I'll stop sharing for now. And I just want to get started quickly with what is iGMS. I'm sure some of you are more new or less familiar, but we are the vacation rental property management software for hosts on the go. So we help short-term rental hosts who are overwhelmed and are looking to scale their business through our award-winning automation software and mobile app. We put your short-term rental business on autopilot. So we do this in multiple different ways. We become a hub for all your needs as a short-term rental host. That means connecting with Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, and now Google Vacation Rentals, as well as your own direct booking website. So you don't get double booked across these platforms. So if someone books on one site, make sure that not get booked on the other site. We also then unify your inbox, so then you don't have to be on multiple sites to then respond to people, and then automate messages for more check-in automated types of communication that you'll have for each guest. And now we're even implementing AI software to help you answer more complex questions, etc. So we're always innovating. We've been around for over 9 years. We're one of the few preferred plus partners with Airbnb, giving us the full integration so then you can have the best access to all the tools and pushing your content onto Airbnb and the best connections there. And we have great reviews across Capterra and G2, 4.6 across both, and high performer in winter as well as shortlists on Capterra. So yeah, it's a little bit about iGMS. And with that, we help you connect with your own direct booking websites. And why are direct booking websites better? The first thing people look at is often the commissions that you save. So as you already know, Airbnb takes a cut, Vrbo takes a cut, Booking.com takes a cut of your total guest revenue. And we even broke it down to a nice little infographic here that I think really breaks it down well. Let's say you do 70% commission fees on a certain OTA, and then you get 3-night booking, about $155 per night. For that one booking, that's $80 back in your pocket. And so you get a couple of those a month, and then multiply that by 12 months. That's already $2,000 back in your pocket that year. But let's say you want manage multiple properties. I see a lot of you do. That can be thousands of dollars at the end of the year that going back into your pocket. And that's really exciting. And I think a really important part of direct bookings what people are interested in. But talking to hosts, I often find that's not even the part that they love the most. A lot of it is about taking back control of your own business. Right now, a lot of hosts are dependent on these different OTAs and booking sites to make sure that their business lasts. And a lot of times they don't feel like, these different sites prioritize hosts' needs. When there's maybe disputes, they don't prioritize them in that as well. And you never know. Next month, they might change their policies in a way that you might not like. They might not, show your property as much, etc. So this is an important way for you to take back control of your business and start having a deeper connection with your own guests. So getting into how to create your own website, there's a few different options to do this, a lot with different pros and cons. But first, the more traditional options, you can hire your own developers. Here, it's costly, it's expensive, you might need a bit of expertise. You can save some money going on Upwork or Fiverr, find developers that might suit your needs. But also the big drawback is when you need to customize it, you'll likely need to go back to developers, unless you're a developer yourself and you like building it yourself. I wouldn't recommend this for most people. It's just costly, not time effective, and most people don't want to dedicate that much time to building their own direct booking website. And then there's sites like Wix or Squarespace, which are nice code-free options. So then that take less time, that are a bit less expensive too. But still, they're not tailored specifically for short-term rental hosts looking to get bookings, looking to display everything properly. So it's definitely a good option as well. And I would also group in WordPress as well, which is a bit more complicated than Wix and Squarespace, but in the same category where people can, build their own websites, but it's not specifically tailored for short-term rentals. So it's going to take a bit more time and effort, even though you do get more customizability through those options as well. And then option number 3 is you can use iGMS's embedded platform. This is specifically made for short-term rental hosts. And we have a system to get you set up within less than a day and actually within an hour to make sure that you can start getting direct bookings right away. This is because, well, I'll dive into a little bit about how we do this. But first, I want to show you a little bit about how it looks. What's super important about building trust for people that may have never booked on a direct booking site before, a big part of that is actually the design. So it looks like a professional website. We're mobile optimized, so when they go on their phone and see your website, it's all going to be optimized for that, as well as on the desktop as well. It's going to look like a nice professional website that they can trust. And what does that look like in the actual setup process of your first website through the iGMS website builder? So we do automatic website creation by pulling your property details from Airbnb directly. So if you have one or multiple properties, we pull all the photos, the descriptions, etc., onto the template within iGMS. And you can be set up within under an hour, making it super simple for them people to start actually booking direct bookings. Then you choose your domain. You can pick a domain and link it to your new site. And then you can start customizing your website. So you can start easily personalizing it and fully integrating with your current property listings. Also through the website builder, you'll be integrated throughout our platform, making sure that you get access to everything we were talking about before in terms of calendar double booking, making sure that that stops, as well as a unified inbox, cleaning management, and a whole suite of features that help you optimize your short-term rental. And we have a couple of very affordable options. So you can add it onto your current plan on a host plan for $7 to $8 more per month per property, or you can just upgrade to our pro plan, which ranges from $19 to $30 per property per month. And something I would definitely encourage you to do, unlocking a whole suite of new features and look into. So it's really that simple. We have a tab within our suite where you go and you click create your own website, and that's when you get started in the process. In there too, you can start customizing it. You can see how well it's designed to make it as user-friendly as possible for you to just start designing your own website. If you're not an expert, if you're not really tech savvy, all these aspects, it does help you a lot as well. And if you already have your own website, as I saw many of you do as well, we have the iGMS integration widget, which lets you then be integrated to the iGMS platform as well, allowing you so you don't get double bookings when you're on Airbnb, Vrbo, etc. And people can book and pay through Stripe or PayPal on your website. And I took a picture of Chris Wilson's widget here, where he installed it through his WordPress site. Now, going into a little bit of how to grow your own website, I'm going to just touch on broad strokes, but recommended steps that I've learned talking to different hosts that are successful in this space is building trust. And we touched on design as one of those aspects, driving traffic, and getting repeat guests as well. So one of the ways that you can build trust is definitely sharing reviews. I love this tagline. We don't say it as nearly as well as our guests. And in that is actually an integrated aspect of our website builder. We can start featuring these reviews yourself. Along with that, I wanted to feature Google Vacation Rentals. So I'm sure all of you have heard of Google, the biggest search platform in the world. And personally, I've seen a lot of my friends and everyone started to use Google Flights, Google Hotels, start booking their whole planning out their vacations. And now they're really starting to push Google Vacation Rentals, which lets you be featured as a short-term rental within the Google platform. So anytime anyone searches things, maybe your city for Google Vacation Rentals, your direct booking site can start coming up and you can start driving traffic right away. This is all integrated and included within our website builder plan. So this is a really exciting time to get started with direct bookings because there's avenues to start getting bookings right away. Now, That takes us to the iGMS promo, our direct booking webinar setup special. And in my mind, it's a setup spooky special because it's that good. You get your own personal website in just 1 hour. So the people that are still hesitant about, building their own website themselves, this handholds you through the process with one of our experienced customer experience team members that have been doing this for many years to make sure that you get set up, get your domain linked, and then start getting direct bookings today or as soon as you book this meeting with them. So there's a 1 hour call that you have with our customer experience team that'll walk you through the whole process, make sure you're fully set up, and then you can walk away with your own direct booking website, which is really exciting. I know a lot of people probably been thinking about it for a while, that if you haven't had it yet, dragging your feet, you don't know how to start, etc. I recommend this is the way to do it. This is an exclusive 60-minute deal. So you have the QR code here, and I'll put the link right in the chat as well, so you can click through the link. I really encourage you, take advantage of this deal. I'll be open only about 20 or 30 minutes after the call as well. We can save 50%. So for only $99, you can start getting direct bookings right away. So yeah, scan. And that is my bit, showing you a little bit from how to start with direct bookings and a bit about iGMS website builder and our setup special as well. Now I'm really excited to pass it on to Chris Wilson. He's been a digital marketing maven with over 18 years of experience. And I'm so grateful that you can join us here today to share a little bit of his insights on how to grow your direct booking website.
Yeah, thanks, Santiago. Thanks for having me. Like Santiago said, I have a lot of experience in marketing and not as much in the vacation rental space. So my wife and I purchased the property towards the end of 2021, and in that time we've really been successful. It was a vacation rental before, but they were only on one platform. They didn't have a direct booking website, and so I along with the other things of learning how to orchestrate across different OTAs, and that was all new to me. But the marketing side is something that I was like, I knew immediately, okay, these are some things we can do to really make this successful. And we've seen our property grow its share of direct bookings by 67% over the last 3 years, and that continues to increase every year. So I'm happy to kind of share what we've done. But I think I'd like to break it up into really 3 different kind of categories, to go from really, if you don't have a direct booking website, where should you focus first? Like, what should we do to get started? Then after that, we'll look at some things that, if you have that direct booking website, you're starting to, get some traffic to it, how can we optimize? What's the next step? Maybe a little bit more effort to really take it to the next level. And then from there, how can we accelerate and really drive the results of the direct booking, drive more direct booking. So that's what I'm going to focus on here. So the first thing is I would just say is just do it. Like start building a direct booking website. I think there's a lot of hesitation because, especially if you're new to the space, don't know a lot about website building or even about building a website. I would say do a little bit of research, but don't allow analysis paralysis to take over, because if you just try to make it perfect before you launch it, it'll never happen. So I luckily have some experience in I'm not a coder, but I had some experience with building website design with WordPress from a long time ago that I kind of resurrected and brought back. So that's what I would say is start with that. I think iGMS offers a lot of great tools to do that. We leverage the booking widget on our website, but I think the website builder itself is a good place to start as well. I'll show you our website as a starting point, just to kind of, can you see that? See my website?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, all right, good. So yeah, this is our website. If you hit the home page of our website, this is what it looks like. And we have a short description, with some great photos. I think, you know, that's something that if you don't have good photography, pay for that photographer, because good photography is gonna be well worth the investment, for showcasing what your property has to offer. And then we try to focus on what are the main amenities, like what do people expect when they come to our area to book a property, and we try to highlight those benefits that might be more unique to some other places. And then we have our reviews, building that trust, like Santiago already mentioned. That's an important thing. So on every page of our website, we have something similar. We try to highlight some, impactful reviews, that really great reviews. We have other little footer here that, signing up for emails, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's definitely not the first phase. But you can click. I have calls to action. So if you're new to marketing, like think about what do I want people to do. So if they maybe know about your website, you want them to book now, right? If they're not as comfortable, maybe they scroll down to here, scroll down the page. We can give them a full overview of the property, and then that's where this page really is a lot like Airbnb, right? Where you're going to showcase, tell people about the property, showcase photos, all the details of the property, and then give them a way to book. So all of these pages, as you'll kind of start to see, they link to a book now page. That's the way we handle it currently, and we utilize the iGMS widget. We've got some details there to think about, as well. In our area, it's kind of it's an area that a lot of families have been coming to for a long time. So we actually, and a lot of families are kind of based in that area and know about the property. So we wanted to introduce ourselves. I think that's another way that we build trust with our website, is to showcase who we are, tell a little bit about our story, show some pictures of like what you actually can do in the area. It's something that we find successful. So here's like just vacation photos. It really gets people thinking, oh, I could have those types of memories if I were to book this place as well. We have an events page as well, and then contact us if they have some questions that aren't addressed on the webpage. Which at this point, I would say the questions we get, if there's not something on the website or in our listings about this, the answers that we try, if we get it frequently enough, we try to address it and put it in here so it can be answered, so they don't have to reach out to us, and that'd be a barrier to booking. So once you have the website built, well, let me just pause here. I think there's one other thing to keep in mind is, like, sometimes we try to put too much information on here too. Like, I want to, kind of on the counter side of what I was just saying, trying to put every possible detail about what you provide and all this and that on the page. Really, what you want to give people, you want to inspire them to book. You want to give them something that makes them think, man, I have to book this place, before somebody else does. And you want to sell the experience of what they would get, by booking. And it's not just the property; it's maybe the area around there. Like how close it is in proximity to like what your guests are coming to do, in that area. It could be something. But also, yeah, like don't make it too complicated where it has just a ton of information. Pictures are going to say a lot more than a lot of text, in my experience. So then, you have your direct booking website. The next thing you need to do is drive traffic to it, because a website's not going to just magically get traffic. You will find a portion of your guests that come from OTAs that are sophisticated enough to know that, well, some Airbnb users might say, well, I wonder if they have a direct booking site so I can save some money on the Airbnb fees. Some of them will actually go and search for it, so that'll happen, organically. But what I would say is, like, leverage other things, and we spend a very small amount on Facebook ads every month that we drive to the website, and we know based on who our customers are, our typical guests are, where they're coming from. So we target those ads to those locations specifically to really hone in on like who we know is a guest. And this is an example of one of those ads. We create some video content every time we're there. We'll like take a lot of pictures and videos just to save for later, so we can leverage an ad. So this is example of one of our ads that you might see in your mobile feed. And then desktop has something similar. But this one, this is something we've seen, an ad we've seen to be really successful. Another thing to do that's no cost is Facebook groups. So if you're, especially in tourism areas where you have a lot of people, like a destination spot, we're luckily in a destination area where people come for summer vacation. They come to ski in the winter. But there's a lot of Facebook groups that are specific to that region of New Mexico where our cabin's at. So we join those groups, and we post pictures. We don't typically try to say, hey, come book a stay at our cabin, unless people are asking, like, where do we want to stay? We try to be more engaging and inspiring, and we get a lot of indirect traffic from that, from people, seeing our skiing pictures, or our videos just like this, that drives traffic to our site, because we have a Facebook page. They'll go to the Facebook page and then find our site from there. So those have been really successful, and there's no cost to that. Just be engaging with the people already like the area that or maybe they're looking and researching the area. Engage with those people, and you'll see a lot of goodwill really for your and trust with your brand, because they know what you're talking about, and know the area. Another thing you can do, it's not been quite as effective for us in lately, but there are buy sell trade groups that like the localized Facebook marketplace ad groups. I don't know if you've seen those, but that's something, if you know where people are coming from, you can actually post about your cabin or your property in those groups. And we've seen some good results from that. Not as much lately. I think a lot of them have been hit with a lot of spam, but that could be something you try too. I mean, it's easy to do and it doesn't cost a lot, but just be aware. Don't put too much in there or you'll get booted out. So that's a good way to get started. Those are some good tips to get started with that, with the direct booking website. I'd say just remember, don't wait. Like, just set it up. Once you've got everything else set up with your listing, it'll all transfer over in some form. So it's not like you're having to recreate everything. So once you have your direct booking website, and you've started to promote it and get some traffic from it, I would say, like, the next thing to do is just try to optimize that. How expand other sources of traffic. One thing that we do is we have an email list. So MailChimp is a free email sender. There's some other ones out there, but we send an email every once in a while. We probably send maybe 1 or 2 emails a month, so not a whole lot, but we capture emails. And this is an example of one where we kind of had a last minute opening on our schedule, and we actually had somebody book these dates right after that. And we don't have a huge email list, but the people that are signing up for our email list are who they're interested in the property. So it's a really good way to promote things. And again, don't overdo it. Like, try to be creative about what you want to, what you're promoting. Some ideas. We will actually send out towards the beginning of every year a list of like top events in the area where our property is, and it's just like a guide to, like, hey, here's some things you don't want to miss. And we've, we can see based on the clicks what people are interested in, from events in the area. So that's and it keeps them engaged and thinking about your property, thinking about booking. The other thing that we do, which isn't really is not a great way to showcase this, but we version the emails, and we categorize the people that sign up in 2 different buckets. That helps us because there are times when we want to, like, give certain people a special offer, maybe if they've never booked with us, like maybe they've been on the list for a little longer. But we categorize them into guests and prospects. So prospects, we know they've never booked with us, or we don't think they have. If could be somebody that signed up, that came with somebody else. But if their name hasn't been on a reservation, we're going to consider them a prospect. And then we have a guest list as well. So as soon as somebody books with us as a guest, we kind of categorize them. as guests, and we're able to really personalize things a little bit. Like, just think about how you would talk to somebody that you knew had been to your property versus those that haven't. You know, we'd love to are you planning your next trip to Red River, like where our property is? Like, there's some language you can use that increases the personalization, the level of trust, and you know, helps to drive results. The other thing that I would say here is once you have that direct booking website, you've driven traffic to it, also really start to understand the booking windows of like how long does it take for someone to book my property for the summer versus maybe the winter. And the reason I say that's important is because when you start to think about marketing and driving people to your website, when you want to get in front of them when they're thinking about it, you know, it's close to when they're going to be like really thinking about booking a trip. So right now, for example, we have everybody's planning for winter skiing, right? So what we're doing right now is promoting, and we have a little bit of a different video here, or an ad that we're using that really showcases winter. You know, it showcases all the, you know, that experience of winter. So and we've got that running right now. But once we kind of get to the tail end of that winter, you know, people are going to start thinking about spring and summer. So we'll change that to be more specific to those seasons. And you should do the same with email. Like, think about like, what do I need? What's important? Like, what are people going to be thinking about and planning for, that I can kind of give them some ideas of why they should come stay at my place versus, you know, somewhere else they might be considering.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's
I really love the whole emails as well as segmenting them as well. Could you touch a little bit on how you build those lists, in terms of prospects and even how you pull it from like a guest list as well? That might add a nice little bit of context.
yeah. Actually, one way we do that is we have so this is an example that it already has loaded, but on our website we do have a pop-up that is a sign up for emails pop-up. And so this loads on certain pages, and we get quite a few people that you know, that hit our website that sign up in this manner. And so they would immediately be added to our prospect list. And if you're using MailChimp, it actually we can set it that way. So anybody that comes in this way will be set as prospect because of the source. I mean, you can go and manually change things later if you think that, you know, they signed up after the stay or something in this manner. We also have, you know, things in our vacation rental that drive people to the website. So I think you kind of touched on this, Santiago, where you have a guest and you want to, maybe they book through Airbnb, or Vrbo. Well, we also want them to kind of visit our website, and hopefully they'll book direct next time. So that's something that we do as well. And we have like all the ways to connect with us, and there's just some magnets and things in the property, in the house, that you know, tell them they can sign up for emails
Oh,
for, you know, so that helps to kind of drive email signups as well,
yeah. So
and even
you have
maybe just,
in-person and online kind of options. So if people visit the actual cabin, they go see magnets with like sign up here for promotions, like special promotions. Is
yeah,
that, do you think what gets
QR
them?
code, yeah, have QR
Nice.
code, or a link that we have, like a short URL that we have for, but we do the same for social, you know,
Mm.
Instagram and Facebook. You know, check us out, follow us on social, or even tag us with, you have pictures from your own vacation. Then we can like engage with them there, which is kind of also helpful, I think, to keeping, you know, getting repeat customers.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great strategy. Thanks.
Yeah. The other thing that we do is set up a Google business page. A business page is another good for direct bookings. I think it's a good way to get a little bit more exposure because it's linked directly to your website. So I'm going to show you what that looks like for us. I mean, it just shows up on the side. So when you search for our property in the location, it'll, you know, we're at the top result, but then you can also see availability and, see a link to the website, directions. We've got other like content that you can post to the Google business page. So we have, looks like we need to post something new here, because this was in August. But it seems to me that every time we post something like this, it does kind of help increase our visibility in Google search as well. But you can only do that from within the Google business page. And then it also has we get reviews here as well. So we'll send people here that have direct booked to encourage them to leave a review. And then again, that helps increase your visibility within search. So I'd recommend that too. Once you've got a direct booking site, this is something you could explore as well. And you could use a lot of the same information, same descriptions you have everywhere else in the Google business page. Okay. All right, let's see, what else do we, so acceleration. So one thing that's a little, that really helps drive traffic, that doesn't cost you a lot of money, but it's more of a long tail, if you've heard that phrase. It's gonna take longer, but over time, it's gonna have more benefits for you, is search engine optimization. So it's kind of a what can feel like a complicated topic, and it's, there are people in the marketing industry that's their whole job, is to work on optimizing the business's website to show up in Google around certain terms, certain things like that. So I would say it is definitely an acceleration part of the puzzle, because there's can be a lot to it. But the good thing is there's tons of resources out there. So if you get to this point, there's a lot of free resources. There's a lot of things you can pay for as well, to like other secondary tools that you can pay for that'll help you kind of do that as well. And you could play around with it, see how it works for you. But I'd say this is something to focus on. The gist of it is you want to show up when someone searches for whatever they're searching for before they book in a specific area. So this is a example of kind of what that looks like. I just put in I'll start over. So I'm going to put in Nashville.
And this is Google Ads platform?
Yeah, this is Google Ads, but they have a lot of, so this is a way to do some keyword research, to help understand like how many people are searching for certain keywords or certain terms. It's a good starting place. There's other tools that probably do a little bit better job, but they're paid resources. This is a good place to kind of test the water, so to speak. So you can go in and do start with the keyword planner, and like type in something. So if I had a property in Nashville, for example, and maybe something like that, I could start with some basic keywords that I think people are searching for, and then get an idea of what they're really searching for, and then what the average traffic is. So this column here is showing you what the monthly search traffic is for those keywords. So vacation rental, you'd probably want, there must be some sort of cabins in Nashville. So like these could also help point out who your competitors are, who's taking shares of bookings from your property. But this is a good way to start. What I would recommend, especially because I would recommend looking at smaller, longer tail keywords. Like we kind of use cabin Red River as one, like people that are kind of on the fence of booking a whole home versus like a smaller cabin. We try to target them in the middle. But a lot of times the cost is going to go up when you see a lot of volume, unless you put some parameters around it. So, and you can kind of see what the cost would be from an ad standpoint if you wanted to be one of those paid ads at the top of the search. But really what we wanted to do is kind of target specific keywords that are most relevant to our property, like holiday homes might be, or it looks like, I mean, there's some different things here that kind of show up that as a good starting place. But I mean, that's something you could start with, and even understanding who your competitors are and maybe what they're searching for, what they rank on. There's other tools that'll kind of show that as well.
So, so yeah, so once you know these keywords, what would be the next step? How do you use it just for ads or do you integrate to your website? Once you know which
Yeah,
keywords I guess you want to rank for.
I would start with like one or two because it does take time or can take time. There's tools out there that'll kind of show you where you rank on keywords. So we try to look and see what my email here real quick. I get alerts from different tools, but there's a lot of like free levels, and they'll kind of show you when your ranking changes. So what you want to do
Mm.
is pick out some keywords that, and this actually is a good indicator here. Like, what's the competition on the page? Like, is it low or high? This is more from, again, from an ad standpoint, but it also shows you like how much else is going to show up and push you down if you're ranking organically and not being part like in the paid area. So you want it to be kind of low. Maybe it's beach rentals. Want to rank for that. You can optimize around that, and that's kind of a complex topic. Probably not enough time to explain that, but you basically want to utilize the keyword in a natural way. It can't just be like, I'm going to repeat this keyword over and over and over and over again. But you want to use that in your copy to show Google that I'm the authority on this keyword. Like, if you're searching for this keyword, you should show my website because I have the answer to that keyword. That's the basic idea.
So
And
you
like I
might
said, there's a
like,
lot of,
oh, I was saying you might just adjust, let's say, your description to then insert beach house rentals within your description, so then you're more likely to show up when people search Google.
yeah,
Is
I would
that about right?
start with that. There's other aspects of the website you can
Mm.
update to, like the Google looks at the hierarchy, like how the elements of the pages are built. So the headline, for example, or the H1, like the big text on your website, is has more importance than other text. So like there's if but I would say like it's kind of an art and science. Like you want to mix in, you want it to be natural. Like you don't want it to just show up to say like, the keyword doesn't really fit with my title. Like you want it to kind of flow together so that it is still compelling and engaging, from that standpoint. So there are tools out there like Ahrefs and SEO mods. Like those are some things you could explore, and they'll actually score your page, and you could tell it like, I want to rank for this keyword, and it'll score your page and help you like understand what aspects you should try to change. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. I'll say that. Like it from an experience standpoint, trying to stuff a keyword into a spot that doesn't make sense. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Like, because you want people to have a good experience when they hit your web page.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I think there's just a lot to that topic, but I'd say that's definitely an acceleration, phase of this. It can, and it doesn't have to take a ton of time, but I'd say if you're interested in it and you feel like, well, this is something we just haven't done, go do some research and like I said, SEO mods or I'll type it in the chat here.
Oh, I can help you. I can help type in this out. Ahrefs. We use Ahrefs ourselves for iGMS, iGMS to see
Yeah,
rankings,
yeah.
etc.
So there's a lot of resources. Yoast, if you use WordPress, Yoast is what I actually use, and it has a ton of great advice on how to rank for certain target keywords. And I'll even like change them. Like sometimes we'll go after one, and if it doesn't really work, yeah, that's perfect. Thanks. If I go after a keyword and it doesn't seem to be working, like maybe we shift to something else, and
Hmm.
so it can, and you can always kind of adjust that. And then another thing here to kind of take things to the next level, I kind of touched on it a little bit before, like understanding your booking windows and then adjusting your marketing strategy to match that. Well, one thing that we do is is we have landing pages, singular landing pages for each season. And so I've kind of shifted. I kind of talked about earlier about how we're right now trying to drive winter, bookings. A lot of them are skiers, snowboarders. So what we've started to do is our ads, and we have an ad here. We started to version our ads on Facebook to where they focus on the season that we're trying to promote. So it like showcases the experience at the property, showcases like what you can do at the property or around the property. So you can ski, you can go snow tubing, so these ads are really trying to, again, I think there's a lot of properties, but to differentiate yourself, you're kind of selling that total experience, the total package. That's what I think is a part of our recipe that kind of sets us apart, is we're not just saying, hey, we've got a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's more than that. Like there's more to it than that. And so then we have these ads that drive to a winter specific landing page. So this is similar to the page I showed earlier, so the landing page, or the website that I showed earlier, except there's no nav up here. We've kind of removed that just to try to drive people directly to the booking site. We know they're interested because they already clicked on the ad. And so and then you see here that the pictures all relate or look, showcase that winter experience. So they're really kind of promoting that and getting, if that's something you're looking for, it shows you what it can be like. Still has the cabin details or the property details, but we have, again, all those winter pictures, and then we highlight the activities that you can do in winter in the area at the property. So really kind of highlighting again that experience. And then the reviews, again, all relate to experience in the winter. And then the booking, and then all the way down, just these booking links drop you down to the booking widget. And we've done that intentionally. So we're trying to minimize the number of clicks before people book. At this point, we know they're interested. They saw the ad, they engage with the ad, they hit the website. So then we try to, we want them to hit this page to get down here and actually book. So we're trying to minimize the number of clicks where they might fall out of that, and actually booking the trip. And then we have a summer one, same thing, but like highlighting summer. And so that would go more with that ad I showed earlier. So yeah, that's I think another great part of the piece of the puzzle is really starting to like think about the booking windows, like how long does it take before people book, and then trying to leverage your marketing to drive people to book those specific time periods. Is something we found really to be successful.
That's great. I definitely love, and I hear this a lot about focusing on experience. And that ad was a great example of like actually showing the skiing, actually showing the off-roading, the hiking. And that could go throughout any communications, right? On your website, through your email, if you run ads through your ads, to not just focus on, yeah, the 2-bedroom, 2-bath aspect.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge aspect for a lot of
Yeah.
short-term rentals.
Yeah, and even though we have some great photography of the inside of our property, in our marketing, we don't typically use them very much. Like we use them here and there, but usually we kind of try to add something inspiring around it. Like maybe it's something around the fireplace, right? About like where they're actually or playing games, like playing board games or something. So we do a lot in our marketing. We are thinking more about like what you're getting if you book our property. Like why are you booking this trip? It's usually not just to stay in a house. Like there's probably more to it, like a reason you're actually coming to a specific area. So we really do try to highlight that. So those were the high points of what I wanted to show. I think the only thing I didn't mention, and this kind of goes to the SEO area here, and I kind of had it hidden here as a tab, but one thing we've also done from a long tail perspective is focused on like things where we don't see a lot of competition for. And so one good example is fly fishing around our area. So like we've started to create pages specific to trying to rank for certain things that we see a lot of people searching for. So a lot of people are searching for, hey, well, I want to fly fish. Where can I fly fish in Red River? So we actually created pages, a couple different pages that showcase, act as a resource for that, and that helps increase our visibility in search. And so it's actually created a really steady flow of traffic from people who like to fish. So that's just another good example of what you can do with the keyword research, is even trying to look for those lower long tail keywords.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris. Um, we can open up for Q&A. We have lots of great questions coming in from different people. Then we'll start with the ones geared towards you, so it's just a nice flow, and then we can go back to the ones with specifically iGMS ones. But maybe we can start with currently what percentage of your direct bookings are repeat guests via Facebook, via Google, etc. Do you have a certain gauge on that? What do you yeah, we'll love to get your insights around that.
Yeah, I'd say we probably, and without doing the math, I was actually wondering that the other day. We have seen this year, this is our third year. We have seen more people this year that are repeat guests. One of them was actually they book with us every year since we started our property. But it's about 1 in 10 ish. So just about 10% at this point, but I imagine that would continue to increase. But the great thing about that is, even at a small rate, if you add that, they're really incremental, right? Everything else you get is going to be incremental to that. So repeat customers are going to cost less too, because a lot of them we don't have to market to them. They're going to come to us because they know who we are. So, but yeah, it's about 10%.
That makes sense. And then can you talk about the split between, I guess, what was it, Facebook and Google ads or anything like that? Or is it mostly Facebook ads or organic? I'm not sure if you can touch on that at all.
Okay. Yeah. So as far as, and we don't spend a whole lot on Google ads at this point. I'll be totally transparent on that, because in my view, there's way more competition with Google ads. So we do a lot more with Facebook ads that are very targeted, like to a specific area. We do retargeting. So we have a pixel on our website. So people that visit our website, they'll see an ad. But we're not spending more than $2 a day on Facebook ads. And with Google, I can't really get the same reach for the same amount of money. So I think if we were, some of you on the call have a lot of properties. You have 20. The more properties you have, the more that might make sense from a budgeting standpoint, because you could direct people to maybe a central location, and then that budget could be spread out. The cost of that ad could be spread out across all your properties, and it might make more financial sense, budgetary sense. But for me, with at least right now with one property, I'm kind of sticking with Facebook, and we do really well because all we need is enough to keep our property at the occupancy level that we're at right now.
Thank you, Chris. I'm gonna share my screen again as well, and then go through some iGMS related more questions. One of them is from Ryan saying the fear of the direct booking site is the insurance if someone trashes your place. Can you address what to do if this happens, or measures to put in place to mitigate risk? So I think it's a really exciting topic. We integrate with multiple different insurance platforms, but we've done a native integration now with one called Safely. Our last webinar was actually on this. You can go on our YouTube. Maybe I'll share the link as well. That Safely will then just add a fee per day that you book, and you can even choose how much coverage you want. And they do all kinds of coverage of even people purposely trashing your place or doing really dumb things like skiing and breaking the roof if you're on like a mountain. That was one of their stories, and they cover it all. And that's being integrated directly into your booking platform. That can be with all your bookings, but a lot of people start definitely with direct bookings to make sure that those things are covered. And they're very, very host friendly. So within a week, they get you back to you and almost always give you your I guess your compensation for the insurance. And yeah, from what I hear from hosts, they like it a lot more than, I don't know, air cover, or I mean, not air cover, but the Airbnb cover that is in place. So definitely recommend looking into that. It is something that we are integrating natively. within our platform and help, people with direct bookings address that aspect. Also feel free to jump in, Chris, if you see questions you'd like to answer. Um, well, please share the link to the insurance video. I will do that. What platforms does iGMS integrate with? So we integrate with Vrbo, Booking.com, Airbnb, Google Vacation Rentals. Those are the main ones that we integrate with, and then any direct booking website with the widget. You can be WordPress, you can custom Java code, whatever you have. And another one around what to use insurance, which is great to cover. Do you have examples of specific websites built with iGMS? I want to share that as well. I don't have ones right on me, but the images were from real websites shown before. So you can see they're here, but I'll follow up with actual emails, with actual examples of the types of
Mhm.
websites you can build and people that build it. And yeah, it's up to them how, like, how nice you want to make it, what you want to feature within that. Um, within that as well. Who else?
Did see someone asking about why we are noting that we don't have a phone number on our website,
Mm-hmm.
um, and kind of asked a couple of different questions around that. I'll just say that that's kind of by design, at least for our website, because we want people to book on the website and pay, complete the whole booking on the website rather than call us. We do get calls. So with our Google business listing and with vacation rentals, you do have to have a phone number to be, verified. We do get calls. But a lot of times what ends up happening is we answer their questions and we send them to the website and they to complete the booking so that we're not having to handle payments over the phone or anything like that. So that's sort of how we handle it. And a lot of times people call now with a cell phone, and so we'll just send them a text after the phone call's ended and or tell them, I'll even tell them, hey, I'm gonna text you the information for where you can book directly on our website after we hang up, and then they can go straight to the website and finish, hopefully book.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, one people asking how is the Carson Cabin built? It's on WordPress, and as Chris has more experience using WordPress, it's more customizable. It does take a bit more knowledge, more time and effort. But they look into like the different tactics you use and different ways to use it. We integrate directly with Google Analytics, so you can start tracking your sources of where your traffic's coming from, if it's ads, etc. And that can be helpful within the process, as well as we can do a pop-up, but you can feature the principle still is a remains where you can feature a place to sign up for MailChimp and offer promos for people that insert their email and collect emails that way. So you can start building a list of prospects interested in your website so then you can promote to them later. So yeah, that's different aspects. And yeah, he uses WordPress with the iGMS booking widget, which then you just integrate directly to any type of website that you have. Um, You have a wonderful logo. How important do you think that's been?
So I'm a branding guy by trade. So I'm going to say that I think having a brand is really important. Now I won't say what I will kind of go back on and say is that don't let that keep you from setting up a direct booking website or to slow down the process. I'd say the brand and the logo is definitely helpful from like just remembering the property, like compare our property compared to others, like our competitors. I think we stand out because now people see, especially with what I was talking about earlier, where we're engaging in social and they see that logo, they see the name of the property and they start to associate that with our engagement and our understanding of like the area, and they have a level of trust with it. So I think it does add value. It's probably intangible, but I do think it's important. If I feel like brands are important.
Yeah, 100%. You've done a great job, especially with the brand. Um, I see a question from Tim. Is there any plans to do door lock integration? can integrate with Jarvis, my understanding. So Jarvis Automations does that well. And we have a integration with them, and they specialize in sending door lock codes, and then with iGMS, you can then randomize the code and automate that process. So when a new guest comes in, they get a new code, and then you don't have to worry about, being part of that process. So I definitely look into the Jarvis systems integration with iGMS. That'll let you do those, auto lock and smart lock integrations as well. Um, Eric Allen says Jarvis works perfectly, which is, super exciting. Thank you, Eric. I also see, Eric, that you had some feedback on having, the dates displayed within the widget month by month, and I'll definitely take that back to the developer team to make that a bit more fluid for people booking through the iGMS widget or iGMS website builder, etc. I think we're coming to the end of our time. If there's any more questions, I'll share that other video as well. But I encourage everyone to use this direct booking webinar setup special right now. 60-minute exclusive deal. So I'll leave it up for another 30 minutes after the webinar. You can scan the code. I shared the link in the chat. This was really popular last time for good reason. It's just a really good way just to get started. And as Chris mentioned, is don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Get started and get the help you need. To start with the with your direct booking. And what does the $99 cover? It's a full 1 hour setup session where our customer experience team helps you set up your own direct booking website. So by the end of it, you'll have it all set up, all integrated with iGMS and all the details there. You can see more details in terms of conditions within scanning the QR code. You can schedule and then reschedule if you need to, as well for your call. So yeah, I encourage you to take advantage of this offer. If you've been dragging your feet, this is definitely the time to take advantage of it. And it's been really popular so far. So looking forward to seeing everyone that signs up. Great. Well, that comes to the end of our time. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. We really had a great time chatting with you, sharing your insights. You have so much knowledge. Honestly, this could have been a 2 hour webinar. And if everyone's in New Mexico, I encourage you to check out Carson Cabin. It's clearly very, very beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to share.
Fantastic.
All right, good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone. Happy Halloween.